be considerate of the period so that it is actually net zero for the company and the company is not losing money to train somebody. I think so these are the key elements of future workforce on how the future workforce can be readied. Not so much on the career guidance, but definitely on the...
I think like when you talk about investing on the human resource, if it's for future workforce and when the work are changing, and if we are able to understand one's interest or one motivation towards that career, and which definitely career tools would be an instrumental to understand it, the investment on individual or an employee or maybe a trainee can have a higher possibility of ROI. And so just adding to it, I would like to move to a steady and we'll go to the earlier question and would like you to address how are you supporting your students in terms of your students to experience a proper guidance tools and if you can share some of the practices and also reflect on your own journey.
The last question, and also?
Reflect on your own journey. When you were a student, okay. Like how scenario is same or different to Nepal or to Indonesia? We heard something about Malaysia. And I believe and he said some of the context that majority of the Nepalese students they had faced and even still they are facing. But I would also like to learn about your own situation. When you were a student, how did you experience the career guidance tools and how is it different than the past?
To tell you the truth, I'm already bored with that question. I'm interested in this question. We already mentioned it. Our previous speaker already mentioned it. And I think with his answer, we can close this session and go home already. I agree. The main point is career agility. So that's why the university or the education can never produce exactly what the industry needs because it was never the purpose. The purpose was getting like a pivotable, like a lot, maybe more abstract skill. That's why they don't teach you certain language programming. They teach you the algorithm because then if the language changes, it's just another week or whatever. They can scram it and then learn a new language, but be able to pivot. So if you aim to teach very specifically, something happens, new machines happens. I mean, so far we're only talking about IT. You're large in agriculture also. We have not talked about that. What about the education industry? We have not talked about that. It's different. The career development is different. The intervention is different. Also in health sector, if we talk about that, then it goes differently to the individual job category maybe, or industry maybe, or the programs maybe. But still, if you want to be future ready, then we don't aim for the specific job task, but we aim for the job category. So the higher, more abstract one. So that's why education will always because they have a work in progress, you say, in operations. You get the needs first, and then you make the recipe. And then you need like what, 3 years, 4 years? By that time, if you don't have co-creation, it's already too late, whatever the industry is, because everything moves so fast right now, especially IT. And it's just, everything is going to be obsolete the next day or the next week, so it doesn't matter. But dragging the industry in, co-creating, well, that's another story. So during the education time period, there's maybe you can say communication, like between the industry and the education. I can safely say for my partners, for my industry partners, not all of them know what they want. So that's also another problem. If you just let them just make their own program and then not be, or not be satisfied of it. So it's okay to have the journey, it's okay to have the communication, as long as it's a progress. Don't just wait till the end of the 4th year and say, this is obsolete already. Of course it's obsolete. Time goes on. So that's why I think, yeah, career agility and then co-creating, that's just two of the main thing, yeah, that has to be there. And it has to be, I agree with the previous point. This is me just taking summary. that all the main stakeholders has to be there. So including the government, and also, yeah. Of course, right now, with the generation communication trend, that includes the parents. So, it's going to be funny for you, but maybe some parents will accompany their children, interview for the internship. It's just the kind of communication that we are now. I mean, maybe like you can say, like, this generation is so lazy or so. You caused it. You're the parents. So they are there because of you. So, don't put the blame back to yourself. So it's fine. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just we're evolving. Now it's that time. And when it's their time, it's going to get worse some way. But it's going to get better in some other way. So it's just okay. So this is me evading the first question. Okay, thank you.
Now, we have heard about the global practices and the context that we share, but now we have the fourth speaker. She represents one of the esteemed school of Nepal, I would say, and definitely Kathmandu metropolitan city. Here I would like to ask you, like Pankaj has talked about the different policy instruments and tools availability, and even two speakers have said about the global practices. What experience your student are getting in your school, and if you can also talk about in holistic manner about in today's time, what students in Nepal are experiencing in terms of career guidance tool.
Thank you, Sailendraji. I thought you were going to ask me, what did I do for my career guidance as well? So I was ready with that answer. I represent a lot of educators here in this room who have a lot of schools, and I believe that they have the knowledge and they have the skills, but probably not the resources to do what they want to do. We work as a team. We have a cohort of schools in Kathmandu where we want to enhance the quality of children. Now, I don't come in the education of the university level, so I will talk, of course, for my school. I feel there are 4 aspects that we need to work as educators to give learners the platform of learning. And those are, first, number 1, when they come to school, reading and writing, definitely. Children need to read, because they need to infer, they need to interpret, and that's the only way you're going to go forward. Second is writing. Now, of course, with AI, everyone thinks AI will give all the answers, but you need to be able to write well, because with the content creators that is coming in the market these days, you need to be able to edit, you need to be able to make certain adjustments, so you have to have the writing skills, I feel. The third thing is data analysis and AI. Now, when we come to look at AI, a lot of people have this mind block about AI. They feel that AI is something that's going to take away the job market, they're going to take away the workforce, they're going to take away everything. So first of all, I think we need to understand that AI is a tool, and we as mankind should be able to use AI. So what kind of products am I going to bring into the table? What kind of products I'm going to bring in the society that is needed for the workforce, that is needed for the, let's say, for the population or for the growth of human mankind. So data analysis is something very important that the children should be able to read. And the fourth thing I feel is to learn how to learn. So you should be able to learn new skills. Now, this is a changing scenario every time. We'll be talking in the next 10 years, and new things are going to come up. And again, we're going to talk about, okay, there's AI, and everything is changing. So are we making our children future ready to accept these changes, to adapt to this through resilience and grit, to be able to learn these new skills, because these skills are going to keep coming up. So we don't know really what are the skills, but the core skills I told you, we need the reading, writing, the data interpretation, and of course, learning how to learn a new skill. So those are the things that I'm doing in my school, I feel. Apart from the reading and writing that we are doing, because we have to go through the framework of the curriculum of Nepal, I feel that it is not enough. Though it is there in writing, you will see in the curriculum that, okay, the vision is this, we want our children to be ready for the future, but are we really keeping that in our classrooms? Are we giving them that cutting edge innovation and technology? Like in my school, we have invested in a fab lab, and it is the first fab lab in the country. A lot of people are coming and wanting to know how we do fab lab in our school. Now, fabricated labs is something that they're learning all the cutting edge technologies, from robotics to STEAM to photography to video editing to audio, a lot of things, Now, that is not everything a child should learn. There are so many aspects children should learn. And it becomes very difficult as an education institute to give everything. We want our children to become lifelong learners. To do that, it's important to give them the availability of nature. So are you giving them that love for nature? Are you giving them the love for earth? So because this is something that we need to keep in base with. So apart from that, the Fab Lab is teaching our children the ways to learn these new technologies and to keep up with these new technologies. Now, having said that, the challenge I would like to come to is we don't have the workforce, we don't have the skilled labor. So I am actually hiring people from outside, from India, from Hyderabad. And these engineers come and they're helping us with this. Now, how do we get those resource people is my question. And I really commend the national NEP. I think in 2076, they came up with this career guidance. They've come up with an established something called NQVS. Yes, for the vocational training. So till grade 7, it's okay that we teach them the skills that I spoke about. But from grade 8 onwards, we need to give them certain vocational skills, because all the children are not ready maybe just to go in the mainstream education. So how are we actually giving them that, providing them, let's say, that platform where they'll be able to learn these vocational skills, like TVET is going. It's there. It's been 4 years, but where's the implementation? Where's the guidance? Where is the training? Where's the training for the teachers? So that is something that I would like to ask Pankaj, you right here. Because I think the educators, we know that we need to give these skills. We know that there is AI. There's a changing workforce. There's a tool required for future success. But is the government helping us enough? Because, okay, forget about my school. There'd be 100 schools in Kathmandu probably for investing on it. But what about the children in the rural area?
I'm not supposed to answer.
Quickly, so could you quickly summarize the question? Like, where is the implementation of the vocational education? So, I mean, Nepal has had a vocational education for a very long time. Since 1950s, 60s, right? And it has evolved. So there are courses, I think we were discussing this morning, even with NEB, you can, instead of optional maths, you can take, for example, music or some other courses. So that provisioning is there, but that has not been implemented. But the curriculum is there, and I mean, with you as private schools, I think that is something that you can really start very quickly as well. On the government side, I think KMC is also already starting a few things, doing like music classes as one of those optional classes, or plumbing classes as optional classes, right? So that has started. So I think that is one aspect. The other aspect that has already started is looking at apprenticeship. So we've already had over 4,000, 5,000 apprenticeship from the CTVT system. So they qualify as pre-diploma or diploma level. So they spend only around 4 months at the institute learning the basic skills. After that, they're rotating between the industry and the school. So they're actually getting hands-on experience. So by the end of it, they should be much more industry ready than their counterparts who have only done institution-based learning. So there are a few things that has happened. Of course, we can always complain about the things that has not happened, but let's not get there.
So we thank you, Pankaj. We want more questions from the audience, and so that we'll have little time to summarize at the last. We'll go to floor very soon, but just would like to share some of my own experience. Dipti, you want to share something?
Yeah. Can I interject?
Okay, you share first and then.
Yeah, I want to share something. We're still doing it in Indonesia, but I don't know with the current president, they might be shutting it down. It's peculiar, it's unique, because we mentioned this already. It's free, I already mentioned it. It's freely translated, the freedom to learn in a free campus. So there is a co-creation in it, but during the third and the fourth year, the student can choose their study track between being in an incubator or working in an internship, independent study, and so forth.
In university.
In the university, yeah. But she didn't tell you that we have another curriculum for the lower education. It's freely translated. Everybody's a student and everybody's a teacher. So the student has projects in their term, and during that term is based on several themes, and they are free to choose the quality of the study that they want to do for each team, and then they present it to others. So they choose and they experience their own study, but they later they share. It's a good curriculum. I mean, it's unique compared to the ones that we had, but it took us 4 years. It's still not 100% done, and now it's time for a new ministry, new secretary. I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah.
Thank you for adding this. Actually, the choice is always there in our education system. If we see our school level education system, out of 700, 200 is an optional subject, and in university there are a lot of choices. There are a lot of electives. Something I would like to share that we were talking before the panel, like choice need to be given at the early stage when they are in the school, not only in the university level. And in Kathmandu Metropolitan, we have tried to give these choices. But I would like to add something on this human resource skills, because it's the teacher who guides the student to choose the elective subjects or the options. And one of the scenarios that we recently faced, maybe it's around 6 months, a group of students, they come to us in Metropolitan with a complaint against their teacher. They said that they were boys, and they said that some of the boys were interested for the beautician course, but the teacher said, this is not for you. In Nepali, they said, like, most of the audience are Nepali, so I would say, like, timle garra khadainau yo beautician. And so the entire group was homogeneous. However, when we planned, Rishwati is over here and smiling, so we know that when we planned, we wanted to provide an opportunity to students where they will have an opportunity to choose among many. There are 35 streams right now in Kathmandu Metropolitan during Book Fair Friday. But one of the biggest challenges that we face is not the skill, I would say, the mindset of our teacher, which shows the limitation in the choice. If we talk about the school level education system, so there are I would say around 100 of subjects that students can choose, but in our school, students only have a choice to choose either optional mathematics or computer science or account or environment science. What about music?
Can I add on that?
Yeah.
I think number one, we should encourage people to, I like movies. So I say to the students, sir, what should I do? You should be like John Wick. Huh? What do you mean, sir? Do you watch John Wick? Yes. He's a very specialized assassinator. So it's just that he knows what he has done. He's very good, but that is not his purpose. The problem, what is your purpose? What is your call? That's the internal motivation is not there. What I should, in a very technical way, we call it, you have to have what we call it career clarity. Okay, let's say if I want to do something, it's not already there in the industry, You disrupt the industry, you create the demand. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I said to them, don't be like Jason Bourne. What do you mean, sir? Have you watched Jason Bourne? Yes. Jason Bourne is very good in assassinating people, but he lost his mind, who he is. So it means if you're working without a clear purpose, what you want to add value, regardless of technical skills that you have, you will not do it. If I'm poor, am I out of the league, sir? No. Trust me, if you are excited and clear what you want to be, when I was young, I want to be a Superman, you will find ways, do whatever it takes. I give you an example. Let's say you love a girl. You give excuses or you find ways? No, sir, I will do whatever it takes. Same. You need to build your career narrative. What does it mean, sir? You need to be what I call as personal manifesto. I thought it's for politicians. No, it's for you. What is your manifesto, personally? So I think that is the thing teacher can guide. Okay, what happens if the teacher doesn't know to guide them because industry changed? Never mind, whether in rural or you're in any urban cities, you inspire them. I come a lot of students, they come back to me, alhamdulillah, alumni, why you come back and see me? Because based on my experience, they come back and bring more friends. Because when I talk to Mr. Bakhtiar, he always see opportunities and possibilities, doesn't see hiccups. It's like this. I think what is lacking, I think what teachers need to do, which is within our hands, let's be human, which is inspire people. I think this is very easy. So I mean, all these two comes later. So I give you all these simple examples. Don't be like Jason Bourne. You're very good, but you don't know who you are. But be as John Wick, so that you know who you are. I give you an example. Sir, if I'm very good in making chicken masala in my rural area, be the best cuisine in the world. By the way, roti canai, like Tan is like naan here, is very famous in the world, and be shortlisted as part of attraction in Malaysia. My point is that Nepal students also can be. I mean, I give you an example. Nepal is very famous with Himalaya mountains. Change that narrative. Very good. We are very good in the best chicken masala in the world. We can challenge, make it on social media, make it as a fun.
But here I would like to ask you, like as you are saying, like let's motivate the student, let's create an environment. But the thing is, are we like just who is the one who decides the career of the students? And are we really creating an environment for them?
Okay, if you ask me,
or is there your biasness over there?
no, I have a bias. My point is that number one, it's up to them to decide what is best for them, correct? Because end of the day, if something doesn't happen, what they plan, the students plan, if we decide for them, they will blame us again. You need to be grown up, take responsibility. Having a clear career journey is being adult. That's number one.
Exactly. I agree with you on this point, and that I want to ask to all the educators and the planners and policy makers over here. Are we ready to get rid of our own biases in making a student to decide about their career choices, either they fail or they succeed? And on this note, I think Sadiq Sir is over there. Floor is open for the question.
Thank you very much. I can already see Rishdi raising her hand. We just have 5 minutes for this Q&A, so I'd like to request our volunteers to kindly bring forward the mic. We would be taking 3 questions. I think if we'll be taking 3 questions.
Going back to Bakhtiar Sir's statement and connecting it to Teddy, I see that you're head of collaboration and civil service psychology profession organization. So this angst, right? Like who's in charge of a student's future? I think the child also worries about it. What about my future? The parents also worry about it. And clearly us as community of educators and everybody. But I think a lot of people are having a hard time on the mental health front to deal with the extreme pace of change. Whether it be climate change, whether it be technology change or innovations. So just as a strategy, while we are pushing the industry and education to innovate and all of, what kind of attention needs to happen on the mental health front? Because this is also another looming crisis, but there's also potential to create a new market and new products that actually help people resolve these issues, right? So even from a market perspective or job perspective, because we don't enough talk about the psychological impact of all of the massive changes that are happening. So I'd like to hear a little bit from Teddy, what you think about there's innovations, there's AI, there's climate crisis, there's a change of cultural values and pace. What's with mental health, and is there how to deal with that? And if you see that as a market prospect as well as just an empathy component for children as well.
Right. If we can just take the final 2 questions as well, then we'll let our panelists to answer those questions as well.
So, may I take the question? Or not? So I was listening to Bakhtiar, and it was very so something I really wanted to add was, so I come from Teach for Nepal, and one of our fellows in Tanau, they recently conducted a career fair in the government school. So it was one of the new things that happened in the government school. In private school, we see a lot of things. I think Sanskriti school has done a lot of those a long time back. But then this was one of the first time, and it was such a challenging thing for them to conduct the career fair because the school administration did not feel the students are ready for the career fair yet. So when is the right time? So we also need to make them understand that it can start as early as possible. For example, I was fortunate to have my 2 elder brothers who were like two years difference than me. And they were the ones who were guiding me as a peer. So a lot of career, impressions and the aspirations can happen in the community, at home, at school. So how do we shape that in such a way that it becomes a holistic way that we provide a great aspiration for kids to make their choices and still being rooted to the community and being ready for the global arena. Thank you. So that can be a question to Pankajji also, because like career guidance and things, so that might come to you, and also for everyone else, like if you can answer to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have one final question? Yes, right here. Final question for this panel.
Hello everyone. So it was very nice attending all the sessions, and we are just to the end of the session with the career guidance services. So I do belong to one of the academic institutions in Pokhara with the high level education, and throughout the sessions and for years long we have been discussing about the curriculum, we have been talking about the employment opportunities, and lots of changes are happening right now. So obviously curriculums are being revised in universities and colleges also. So we do also practice some practical aspects of involving students in projects. So attending students into the intensive platforms or making the case studies. So I think these are the practices that are making a practical uses of learning. But again, the argument always ends with that the colleges or the universities or the schools or the academic institutions are not delivering the human resources that are capable to cope with the market demand. So what I have experienced right now also is that, so while I face any students coming to my college at the higher levels, so they are not focused with the careers that they are supposed to go. So my question actually will be to the international guests, so maybe Bakhtiar and Terry. So what are the practices that has been incorporated into your nation, in your colleges or the universities, that at what age, so obviously we do believe that this career guidance practices has to be done earlier during the schools, not just what we have experienced. Students are coming, what we suppose, after bachelor's, the students are supposed to go for their professional career. And at that time only, we are thinking about the career plans for students. I think that's too late, because they have already made a decision, they have chosen a course, but in the long run, after they complete or graduate, they find that this is not the domain that they are interested to. So what are the practices? My question goes to Bakhtiar and Teddy. What are the practices, or at what stages that your universities, colleges, or the government has practiced to counsel students, provide career guidance, and what are those kind of practices that have you incorporated? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we now give our panelists an opportunity to answer these questions.
I add first. Number one is, I come from multi-media university. Okay, what is our solution to address structured career guidance? Number one, we introduced 2 programs. We have what I call I-cadetship for industry preparedness for the industry. We have E-cadetship for being a startup and entrepreneur. So it's up to you to choose whether you want to be a job seeker or a job creator. So what does it mean, I-cadetship? It means there, within 1 year, number one, you can be a company ambassador that being assigned with certain company that sign with the university, number one. Number two, your assignment, which is in semester, in your final year project is based on the company that signed MOU with you. So it will create value to the MOU. Number three, the company are able to pitch you to recruitment. So that is for industry cadetship. So what is it placed? It's a 1 year program. Huh? It's not a one-off program. Number two, e-cadetship. Number one, we will partner mentorship. We will do the profiling, whether you are entrepreneur DNA or not. Once you're done with that, we will go for boot camp for entrepreneurship. So we will decide through our alumni mentor to be your mentor. Number one, to look your idea. Number two, you pitch us in terms of ability. Okay, we see how we can assist. After mentorship and workshop, definitely we will go for incubator. What's the point of doing entrepreneurship if you cannot make money? So we want to make sure that we get that. So let's say we don't have fund from the university. We get funders from government agency to be judges when you pitch. If you're good, let's say in Malaysia, one project, you can get 5,000 minimum ringgit Malaysia, 250,000, depends to different segment. Is it agriculture? Is it IT? Is it what? My point in trying to say, get stakeholder, which is government agency, as a funder to support the ecosystem. Number three, go for competition and collaboration. What does it mean? Today is a good day of collaboration. We can put resources online, maybe through Skill Lab, to make an impact. I said to Pak Teddy just now, if you ask Malaysia, it's nothing. But when we tell that we combine with Indonesia, 360 million, then you know ASEAN. So what I'm trying to say is that if you come as a single college, maybe it's difficult, but you come together as Nepal, South Asia region, together with India, Pakistan, it's going to be different. Nowadays, you can take it online. Seek whatever resources. I'm sure there will be people will love you. I shared to Pak Teddy, as we speak on 3rd of February, we have career development practitioners across the globe. It's campaigning. A lot of people do not know about the role of career practitioners. On 3rd of February, my friend from Bella and Catherine from UK is doing that global video just to highlight online what we have been doing for kids and children. So this is something that you can do online. So thank you very much.
We would like to request Mr. Teddy maybe to shed light on the 2 questions that were asked to you about mental health and then about the career guidance and the age.
Thank you for reminding me. I keep forgetting that I'm representing the Psychology Association because I was the president for the Career Center Association, as was Bakhtiar. So we're having a post-power syndrome. the current presidents are sitting on this table, Amel and Pasri. So let me change my perspective here. So this is me changing my perspective. So a lot of people forget that career development is part of your personal development. So if you're talking about your personal development, when does it start? Since you were born. So you remember the first time you talk about your career? It's when, like Pak Bakhtiar said outside lah, what do you want to be? Superman, Spider-Man. That's the first career aspiration. And the person that you talk it into, that's your first career counselor. So who are the career counselor? Your family, your peers, your elder brothers, your seniors, your colleagues, and also the dedicated career counselor ones. Of course, you can have like so many lah. But it is a journey that I hate the term link and match because it sounds sounds just at a point, like you mentioned, but when do we start talking? I see the best practice in Indonesia starts grade 10, so first year of high school. So that's pretty good because they're old enough to talk about abstract things psychologically, but they also have like still like 2 years ahead to maybe like change if they want to do something or get certain certification. Like my friend, the son was homeschooled, but he got into a prestigious technical school because he had an international photography certification. So that's unique just for him, and he beat all the competitors. So the journey should not end on your first career because, as you put it, you tried everything and you found out what you hate. It was same to me because it's not ideal. I mean, it's ideal. It's not possible for every student to have a clear career vision. Even if your teacher keeps being angry at you, find your clear. You have to be clear. Okay, I'm trying, but you know, there are only 20 with so many years of experience. What can they do? What can they sum up? There has to be some experience. There has to be some shadowing, internship, failure, deciding not to do it. It's just part of the career. One of the theory I remember is chaos theory. You can only be prepared. There's nothing that you can do to determine the opportunity set for you. It's going to be there when it's there. But the question is, are you ready for it or not? Then you can determine whether that person continues the opportunity or find other opportunity. So, not just talking about future career, we don't know what lies ahead in front of us. Like me, I don't know if I'm going to be a professor like Amel or like jump out of university and work in the private sector like Pak Bakhtiar. I don't know. But it is a journey that is lifelong. So it should not stop at any point, including in Indonesia in 3 or 4 years, the number is going to be significant. So we're going to have to talk about second career. So that's after your pension. These are still young, a lot of network, a lot of resources. They can be coaches, they can counsel, they can even like be a counselor for like the board of directors in that position. And these, like in some countries, they already use them. But like Japan, they mentor all these 70-year-olds. They mentor the 50-year-olds, and you can take all the cream of the experience and you use it, step on the shoulder of giants. So it's not one definite time in space. It's your life. It's 1/3 at least of your life.
I would say time is up. So, Pankaj, you would like to add anything? Very short.
Yeah, he was like, it begins from birth. So.
I just want to add something, not just to sound negative, but the challenges that we face here is lack of trained career guidance counselors in our schools. And of course, I believe that we should start early. We also have limited access to resources, so digital services and tools like Skill Lab coming into place over here, I think that's really going to work. And of course, the societal and parental pressure is there. So like you said, are we going to change our biases that plumbing and electrician or learning some beautician course is not something taboo, but it is something upscale. So those are the things that we should really value, I feel. But for all of this, I would like to reiterate what Mr. Hariharan said. It's a partnership. It's a collaboration from the government, from the university, school leaders, parents, and of course the students themselves. So if all of us come together and collaborate in public partnership and public and private partnership, like how we did with Metropolitan, we led a project for about 6 weeks with the help of Salendiji and Reshuji, and it was children-led. It was an amazing partnership that we did for the ecology. And the other thing that I spoke about earlier for the cohort of schools coming to the mental health questions, right now we are doing a comprehensive SEL training for teachers because it's very difficult to get all the teachers a very long-term training. So we are doing like in cohorts where we are providing a 3-month training to about 30 teachers from various schools, from about 20 schools. So I think that's going to work regardless of the fact that there's a lot of challenges that we have.
Just one thing. So I think you mentioned about partnerships and collaborations. So in terms of opportunities for the private schools and colleges here, there's already a few career guidance centers being established by the provincial governments in 3 provinces, Koshi, Lumbini, and Bagmati. They already have the tools and materials, at least for a few vocations, for a few careers. They already have some psychometric analysis tools that can be used and that can be leveraged as well. So I just wanted, and then there's already some teacher training materials to teach, to train teachers to be career guidance counselors or career guidance teachers more so. So just wanted to highlight that part as well. Thanks.
Thank you. Sadiq Sadi, just I would like to, at the end, I just want 2 audience to share the call of action. Anything different you'd like to do or you'd like to exercise post this panel discussion. Just in a minute if you want to share. Because I want to share something as a call for action.
And I'd also like to remind and add to this, we do have the QR code. If you would like to share individually as well, please do feel free to scan the QR code and share your thoughts about this particular panel and what can be the way forward as well. I think they have the QR code that they can scan and then share their thoughts as well.
Or anyone over here, if you want to volunteer, the call of action. Okay.
Hi, my name is Rupesh Regmi. I'm a scientist turned AI startup founder. I just recently got back to Nepal after staying overseas for over 18 years. Now, one of the things that has been going on in today's talk, and since after I returned back to Nepal, I'm seeing a lot of things happening, especially in the startup culture. Now, one of the things that I feel that Nepalese youth are missing is the fact about affordable innovation. Now, you know, we go on and talk about we have less resources, right? But you see the word jugaad, you know, the China does it whole different way, right? So I think the whole point of me speaking today is that our neighbors on the north, we have to at least try to be curious about them. That's something I wanted to add to the discussion.
Thank you very much.
One more. Well, thank you very much. One more volunteer. Call for action.
I'd like to request maybe Sarindraji to sum up since we're running out of time
okay, then
as well.
I'll just sum up if not anyone is ready to volunteer. Okay, so as I'm engaged as a planner in Kathmandu Metropolitan, and over there we integrate different kinds of skills, both in school level as well as for the mature person who is above 18. Last year only we trained around 3,000 people. So I think connecting all the 3 panel, reimagining and also the employment gap, and then the digital career guidance. I think this is the area that I believe I would be championing, and I'll be talking to our leaders about this guidance, even before engaging or integrating the training, or so that it is not, it doesn't sound like we are imposing the types of training, but it comes through the participant themselves, what their interests are, and we want them to explore, we want to provide them maximum opportunity for exploration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to all our panelists and to our moderators as well. I think a wonderful discussion on what can be. I'd like to request Ms. Sudiksha Rajbandari, Partner Success Manager at Skill Lab, to kindly step forward and present these token of appreciation to our fantastic panelists and to our moderator who have shed light on extremely important topics. I've also recently joined academics and I've started teaching. I teach public speaking, which I feel is so apt to what I'm doing right now. And I also get to hear experiences from many different students who somehow post-COVID, they share, some have really become very lazy. Some have found this inner strength to overcome that laziness and do incredible as well. But I'd like to request Sudiksha ji to kindly step forward and present the token of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to all our panelists who shed light on policy instruments, career guidance services as a tool for future success. And I think reiterating what Dipti ji also said, as teachers, we should not definitely have biases as to what is good or not good for our students, and maybe just guide them towards what they feel like they can also achieve. Thanking our fantastic panels for bringing out so much insight and information. A reminder to all our distinguished guests to kindly scan the QR and then share your thoughts and insights that you have about this particular panel discussion as well. Thank you very much to our moderator as well. Ladies and gentlemen, with this we come towards the end of our final panel discussion as well. I think almost after 15, 16 years of working, if somebody asks me what I want to be, and if being a princess is still on the table, I think I'd take it any day right now. But it's days like this that I really enjoy doing what I do as well. And as somebody who picked up hosting as an excuse to run, skip and hop during sports day, I think I made the right career choice at a really young age as well by hosting events like Parents' Day, Foundation Day, Teachers' Day. And school really is a big school or educational institutions are big foundations where a child really learns, thrives, grows, and somehow sees where they can be in the future as well. So to all our educators as well, I feel like we need to put our hands together. If not anybody, give yourself a pat on the back for the incredible work that you all have been doing in this field as well. We have the final giveaway. I'll make it very easy, I promise. Right? No guessing. This has to be a solid answer. Is everybody ready? Yes, there's a sudden silence as soon as I say there's a giveaway, because everybody's so excited. All right. So this has to be a full form. All right? A full form. I've mentioned this word before during the day. What is the full form of TVET? I see first person right at the back, TVET, TVET, the full form. Yes,
Technical and vocational education and training.
Correct, that's right. TVET stands for Technical and Vocational Education and Training. It was the first person to put their hands up. I'd like to request you to make your way at the front of the stage and get your brand new AirPods from Xiaomi. And this is not a giveaway, but I have somebody's phone. This is not, I repeat, this is not a giveaway. I have somebody's phone. If anybody lost a phone. All right, so it's Mr. Arts. I'd like to request our winner to kindly step forward. I'd like to request Mr. Rai to kindly step forward and present this brand new earbuds to our winner. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We are also now heading towards something really exciting. We talked about MOUs, like well, MOUs are quite useful, you know, if done the right way, and we're doing 2 MOU exchange right here today as well. So this MOU, the first MOU exchange is in between Skill Lab and Indonesia Career Center Network, ICCN, for which we'd like to invite onto the stage Dr. Rosaria Mita Malalia, President of ICCN, and Mr. Nandakishore Mandal, and Mr. Art Pade Cooper from Skill Lab to kindly join us at the front of the stage. This is just an MOU exchange. I'm sure incredible things will come out of this MOU. Requesting all our distinguished guests and participants to kindly step forward. I also request the MOU to kindly be brought at the front of the stage. This MOU exchange is between Skill Lab and Indonesia Career Center Network. Big bright smiles. And I'd like to request Dr. Rosaria to share a few words as well after the exchange. ICCN would also like to present this token to Skill Lab. We look forward to this incredible partnership between Skill Lab and Indonesia Career Center Network. I would also like to request Dr. Rosaria to share a few words.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. This is a very good opportunity for us to have more collaborations or further collaborations between Indonesia Career Center Network and Skill Lab. Actually, ICCN as associations in Indonesia, we provide assisted excellent service for the career center from university in Indonesia. And then a lot of things that we can make, that we can create, that we can innovate together between ICCN and Skill Lab. So this is a very good opportunity, and I'm so honored to tell all our members. The members is about 150 universities from private and public in Indonesia. So it's going to be a very good opportunity for us, for both of us, to have deep collaborations, especially to strengthen our career program in a university in Indonesia. Once again, I would like to extend my gratitude for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Dear guests, the next MOU exchange is between Skill Lab and National Career Development Association of Malaysia, for which I'd like to invite Dr. Sri Intran, President of NACDA Malaysia, Mr. Nandakishore Mandal, and Mr. Art from Skill Lab to kindly step forward for the MOU exchange. Wishing Skill Lab and National Career Development Association of Malaysia a fruitful collaboration and many, many congratulations as well. And in this particular occasion, may I also please request Dr. Shri to kindly share a few words.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor, it's a privilege that NAGDA Malaysia had an opportunity to tie up with skill labs. And we believe that this opportunity is not going to be only benefiting the Malaysian universities under our association, but I think our network with our neighbor, Indonesia, ICCN, is also going to jointly promote this and also to take it further. Just a little thing before I step down here. What we are forming, what we are envisioning to form is not just for Malaysia or just for Indonesia, but jointly what we are trying to do is to create a global career services network. The Global Career Services Network is basically to bring in all the career services head together to share experiences and to also share best practices so that we can empower one another, sharpen our skills to provide best solutions to our students. So for those universities, if you have your career services representations or representatives, please encourage them to join this network so that we can all join together and share the best practices together. And once again, thank you very much for all this opportunity.
Thank you very much to Dr. Shri. Ladies and gentlemen, and to all our distinguished viewers who are watching us live from Kashtamadam Television from the very beginning as well, thank you for being such a lovely audience online as well. And thank you to all our sponsors and supporters who have made Unleashing Asia Summit a possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, as we head towards the closing of our summit, I'd like to invite Mr. Art Parde Cooper and Mr. Nandakishore Mandal onto the stage for a joint vote of thanks and closing remarks.
All right. So that's coming to the close of the very first edition of Unleasing Asia. It's been very exciting. Thank you so much for being such an incredible audience. It was absolutely awesome, and the turnout is really, really so good. We hope, like ourselves, you come away with some really valuable insights, some new perspectives, but most of all, also coming away with new friends, a bigger network, people that you can call on at a later stage. I suppose we'll follow up with you in the coming weeks. We'll share some more highlights, we'll share some more material from the summit, and obviously pretty soon we'll be announcing as well where the second edition of Unleashing Asia is going to take place. But we'll keep that secret for now. Lastly, it takes a village to organize this. So I want to start by thanking you, obviously, as an incredible audience.
And I would like to take an opportunity to thank all the sponsors, all the partners, all the speakers, and each one of them, because there's tremendous amount of people and a tremendous amount of resources that individuals and institutions has sort of contributed in it, calling up last minute, we need your support, and here you go. So none of the partners and the sponsors, we reached out in all good faith, they turned us down. So we're incredibly thankful, absolutely grateful for being able to receive all your support, contributions to make this absolutely possible. And also having you throughout the day, because I see everyone who's been from the day one, been here and cheering up for us. So thank you, our incredible partners and sponsors, for truly making this possible. You want to say something? And I can go with the team.
Yeah.
And I would like to call upon my team on the stage who's been working so hard, and I would like to sincerely sort of thank them and be truly, truly grateful for all the hard work that they have put in together to make this happen, and all the time telling, take a back seat, we are there to hold your back. So thank you, team. Thank you. Can we have all you on the stage, please? Please step on the stage. And I would like to request all our supporters, partners, speakers, audience to kindly put a round of applause for the team that was really, really worked hard, really, really worked hard to put this show together.
Yes. I think you guys should join in then. Yes. We definitely need to put our hands together for a thundering round of applause for this incredible team that pulled off Unleasing Asia Summit, the very first Unleasing Asia Summit. A big, big round of applause and many, many congratulations to the incredible team for such an incredible event. It's the success of an event often also is shown by the number of participants who are remaining in the hall by the end of the event as well. And a 80% full hall, full house also shows that the event was a huge, huge success. So well done to Skill Lab and everybody else. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Unleashing Asia Summit has been a platform for bold ideas, insightful discussions, and inspiring collaborations, bringing together educators, industry leaders, policymakers, and change makers, all united by a shared vision for the future of education and workforce transformation. As we leave today, let's carry forward the momentum, let's stay connected, and continue working towards reimagining education and transforming workplaces across Asia. The future is not something we wait for, it's something we create. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure hosting Unleashing Asia. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.